everyone for joining the youth-led sexual reproductive health and HIV networks for Eastern and Southern Africa. So today marks the kickoff of the United Movement Call, which we're having this morning. Thank you so much for everyone that has joined. And be sure that today we have amazing topics for you. We're going to be discussing a number of things. You have to be with us from now up to the end. So as we just get into join, let us remember that you can actually use the translation. For those that want to listen to French or Portuguese, please do take note of that and be in the translation side. You'll be guided just by checking on the Zoom. There's a point where you can request to get translation there. So today it's going to be me. My name is Musonda Memory Chikombo. From Zambia. I'm your moderator together with Blackmore. And as we continue, let's get your introduction. Let's just know your name, your country, even the organization you're representing today. If you're coming from Zimbabwe, which network? I can already see some people introducing themselves. I see you, who can I see here? Ndlovu, I see you, George. Please let's keep introducing ourselves. And while we do that, remember to attach an emoji of how you feel today, just your name, your country, the network you're representing, and the emoji of how you feel. Yeah, and soon we'll be getting into the Mentimeter just to have some fun. We'll be sharing the Mentimeter link while we introduce ourselves to just see, or rather have some fun before we kick it off. So it's going to be an icebreaker. Okay, please keep your comments coming, your introductions. Okay, if we have other people that are unmuted, please let's mute ourselves. We just let like myself and everybody that will be speaking to use the mics for now. Let us remember to mute. Okay, fine. So we have the Mentimeter there, the icebreaker, which will be shared in the chat. Let's utilize that one, and I'll encourage everybody to just share how they're feeling. I don't know this feeling George has sent. I don't know how to interpret it, but the Mentimeter will be shared in the chat. Shanice, please share the Mentimeter in the chat box too, so that people can work on that. If you're just joining us now, we're just getting started with the kickoff call for United Movement. And we're just getting started with the introductions. You just share your name, your country, the organization you're representing, and the image of how you feel. Yeah, Shanice, the Mentimeter in the chat so that people can have this as an icebreaker. Okay. Keep your introductions coming. I can see Zimbabwe is represented. I can see South Africa. Okay, we have a number of Zim. Africa and South Africa, we see you. Tanzania, Uganda. Okay, great. I hope people are attempting to use the Mentimeter. Shanice, do we by any chance have responses in our Mentimeter?
Hi, Musonda.
Yes.
So could you kindly just share on the chat? I'm presenting, so I cannot share it on the chat.
Okay.
Yes.
Blackmore, please help sharing the Mentimeter in the chat or the icebreaker. While people continue introducing themselves, you just share your country, your full name, the network you're representing, and an image of how you feel today. Okay, that is the Mentimeter there. Let's all go to the Mentimeter and just give our responses. You find very cool, amazing questions right there. So let us all go to the Mentimeter and give updates of what the questions are requiring of us in the Mentimeter. Okay, I see Zambia. Zimbabwe is leading. I hope we can invite our friends to start joining also. Tanzania. So the first question on the Mentimeter is saying, what is the most visited tourist attraction in the world? Okay, we have responses coming through. Okay, others are saying the Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty, Great Wall of China. Okay. Okay. We're going to go to the next question quickly. So those that got Eiffel Tower are correct. And the next question is, which animal cannot sting his tongue? Okay, we have crocodile, elephant, or mouse. Which one? So let's just quickly pick which one. We have crocodile leading, elephant, the mouse. Okay, crocodile is leading. Looking forward to see the answer. Oh, those that picked crocodiles are correct. Thank you so much. We go to the next question, which is the second planet from the Earth? We have Uranus, Mercury, and Mars. Let's see which are the responses. Okay, we have responses there. People are debating here and there. We have 2 for Mars, Mercury, none. Speaking of Uranus. Okay, can we see the answer? Mars is the answer. So those are selected that were correct. Let's get the other question. Which country's national animal is a unicorn? Interesting. Let's get answers, team. So is it Scotland? Is it Denmark, New Zealand, or France? Let's see who knows this one. Okay, Denmark. We've got Scotland. Not Googling. You cannot Google. Okay, we have Scotland and Denmark. Scotland leading. Are we able to review the answer already? We see which one is the answer. Scotland is the answer. All right. Okay, and the other question is saying, from which country do French fries originate from? Is it Belgium, France, USA, or England? We have France, Belgium, USA, England. Which one is which? France is leading. Team, make sure you respond to that. Let's get the answer. Yeah, we can get the answer. Okay, so Belgium is actually correct. We had more people picking France. Okay, thank you so much, everybody that took part in that particular icebreaker. And if you're just joining us now, this is the kickoff call for United Movement. If you're just joining, not knowing what is happening, let's go straight to the introduction in the chat. Tell us the country you're coming from, your full names, which network you're representing, as well as the emoji of how you feel. Right about now, I'll invite my co-host, my colleague, Lakmo, to just take us through the United. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Musonda. Compliments of the day to you all. Just like what you've heard, my name is Lakmo Benson Pamidzai from Young People's Network on Sexual Reproductive Health, HIV and AIDS, which is popularly known as the country chapter for AFRIAN in Zimbabwe. So let's get started with the introduction of United Movement, but just to give you a brief background. So in April 2023, the United Leadership Summit kicked off in Johannesburg, South Africa, where we had more than 100 young people who joined from 14 countries across Eastern and Southern Africa for a 3.5-day summit. So it was during this summit that the United Movement was born. And as young people, we agreed that the crisis is that the sexual and reproductive health and rights, as well as HIV needs of young people in their diversity, they continue not to be met. So if we agree with the other young people who participated in the United Leadership Summit, you can also highlight it in the chat box. Do you agree that the crisis that our SRHR and HIV needs, they continue not to be met? So this is why we agreed to break the silos and come together, leveling up our advocacy efforts, because we believe that as young people, we have a unique perspective on these issues and we can bring fresh ideas and innovative solutions to the table. So as you can see on the screen, the United Movement is led by young people. You know, there's a famous statement which says, anything for us without us is not for us. As young people, we know what works best for us. So it is our right to meaningfully participate in our own development. So it's led by young people as well as youth-led networks who are advocating for HIV and SRHR in one voice through enhancing capacities, collaborating and leveling up joint in advocacy. So as the United Movement, we aim to accelerate youth-led responses towards HIV and SRHR commitments and collectively address the persisting challenges. Next slide. So let me recap the aims of the movement. So they are divided into three, and the first one is expand the movement. So as the United Movement, we are mobilizing other youth networks and all their diversity. And we recognize that there are many other youth-led networks that are doing important work in this area. And we want to work with them to create a united front against the challenges which young people are facing. So by mobilizing all these networks in all their diversity, we can actually ensure that our movement is inclusive and representative of all young people whose SRHR and HIV needs must be met. And we are also providing feedback and orientation into to the movement. So we really understand that not everyone is familiar with our movement and that some young people may need assistance in getting involved. That's why we are providing feedback and orientation to those who are interested in joining the movement, because we believe that providing a clear understanding of what we are working towards and the steps needed to get involved can help incentivize more young people to join us. And then we are also disseminating our movement manifesto, both online and offline. So our manifesto outlines our goals, objectives, and our values as a movement, and we believe that is an important tool to help educate and inspire other youth-led networks as well as young people to join us. So by disseminating our manifesto, we can reach more young people and spread our message even further. So the second aim is to mobilize support for the movement. So we actually believe that it's critical to engage and involve all stakeholders to make the necessary changes. That's why we are taking a multifaceted approach to build strong coalition of support of our mission. So the first thing we are doing is stakeholder engagement and support at country level. So we aim to engage with stakeholders at the country level, including government, CSOs, and community influencers. So by building these partnerships and alliances with this group, we can also leverage on their expertise and resources to support our initiatives. And then the next step is to enhance cross-network communication. This involves creating WhatsApp groups, online forums, and other digital platforms where young people and other stakeholders can connect and share information and ideas, as well as collaborate on our advocacy efforts. So by enhancing communication, we can build a stronger network of support, as well as create a more coordinated and effective movement. And another important step is leveraging existing training and capacity building opportunities. We understand that as young people, we lack skills and expertise needed to effectively advocate for our rights. That's why we want to use existing training and capacity building programs to help us as young people build our knowledge and skills in advocacy. And then finally, we are developing a resource mobilization plan. The success of our movement depends on having the necessary resources, be it financial, human, and technical, to achieve the objectives. And then we would also want to level up our advocacy. We believe that enhancing our approach, we can make a greater impact and more effectively address the needs of young people in the areas of SRHR and HIV. So what we are going to do is to enable meaningful and expanded engagement with our adolescents and young people technical working groups. We recognize that as young people, we are experts in our own lives and experiences, and we must create opportunities to meaningfully participate in our advocacy work. And then another critical step is holding intergenerational dialogues. We understand that real change happens through dialogue and coming together. We must bridge the gap between different generations and foster a deeper understanding of the challenges that young people are facing today. And then another step is to develop a joint youth-led advocacy campaign. We want to empower young people to lead the charge in advocating for their rights and well-being. By supporting a youth-led advocacy campaign, we can enable young people to voice their concern and play an active role in driving change. So in our next slide, we are going to see a short video where we are going to get a short summary about the United Leadership Summit, as well as the United movement in general. Over to you, Shanice.
Welcome to the United Leadership Summit, a unique mega youth-led convening that brings together young leaders from 14 countries across Eastern and Southern Africa. The first of its kind after COVID-19 pandemic. A united movement born from this summit. We stand united with one voice and one campaign for the strengthened engagement of young people in HIV and sexual and reproductive health rights advocacy. The United Leadership Summit aimed to tackle the fact that HIV and sexual and reproductive health rights of adolescents and young people continue not to be met. By uniting 40 youth-led networks, we strive to foster collaboration and advocacy. Despite the challenges adolescents and young people face, our collective strength will drive change to ensure that our rights are met. More than 100 dynamic, driven youth leaders, together with Y+ Global and AFRIAN, in collaboration with UN partners, successfully held the United Leadership Summit. Our outcome was a powerful and empowering united movement where young people led the charge in the sexual and reproductive health and HIV response. During the summit, we came together as a united force, focused on collaboration, leveling up our advocacy efforts through learning and exchanging with each other. We recognize the importance of building the leadership capacity of youth-led networks from diverse backgrounds, ensuring they play a pivotal role in the sexual and reproductive health and HIV response.
I came here to learn, to network, and to take back home solutions that will help strengthen youth-led engagements in national HIV and SRH responses. The United Summit was a safe space where I could talk openly and freely about the critical issues affecting my community.
To ensure the success of our movement, we need to work together to make critical decisions that focus on the most crucial issues and help those left behind. We are committed to being responsible, leading by example, and encouraging young people to get involved. Our dedication to these values is unwavering. With the guidance and support of Y+ Global, AFRIAN, and UN partners, we as youth leaders from each country have developed detailed plans to achieve our goals. We are fully committed to these plans, and we have set up measures for accountability while seeking technical assistance as needed. Together, we have empowered voices of young people to bring about positive change and create a better future for everyone.
It's critical for young people in all their diversity to unite, lead, and collaborate for better access to health services, commodities, and information to improve their health and well-being.
Our united voice will be a powerful force for change, breaking down the silos in youth-led advocacy. Through the United Movement, we are bringing together youth-led sexual and reproductive health rights and HIV networks in Eastern and Southern Africa, collaborating to level up our advocacy efforts. This movement empowers us to strengthen our capacity as young leaders and provides an invaluable opportunity to learn from each other. Together, we realize that we need to work beyond just our individual organizations. At the summit, we came together and built on the progress we had already made in advocating for our cause. We worked together, had lots of group discussions, and developed plans that will amplify our issues and key aspects of our movement. We are now committed to taking things even further by working with stakeholders at the local, regional, and national levels and improving how we communicate with each other across our networks. Let's all come together to support our shared mission of making a difference in the HIV and sexual and reproductive health space. Y Plus Global, Afrian, and all of us are committed to creating a better future and would love for you to join us on this journey. Together, we can give young voices a real chance to be heard and work towards a positive change for a happier and healthier world. So, are you with us? Let's make a difference together.
All right, thank you very much, Shanice, for the informative video. Together we can achieve more. At this juncture, allow me to hand over to Faith, who is going to give us an update from the steering group, United so far. Over to you, Faith.
While Faith is setting up team, let's remember to turn on our cameras. Would like to see your beautiful faces. Let's turn on our camera. We just mute so that we are able to see each other, because as we are on this call, we'll also be taking few screenshots just to keep record of this call. So let's turn on our cameras if we can. And I would love to see majority of us turn on the cameras. Beautiful. Yes, that's more like it. I see a lot of smiles here. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Faith must still trying to set up.
Hi, Ms. Wanda. I'm happy to assist Faith in this. She seems to be having some network problems, but it's exciting that we have continued on as a united movement, and we have been up to some things and exciting activities, and I'm just going to quickly brief you. But before I go into this, perhaps the steering committee would want to show us their faces, and the steering committee is made up of youth networks. It's made up of AFRIAN, Y Plus Global, and support from the UN agencies, UNICEF, UNFPA, and UNAIDS. So if they could just kindly just show us their beautiful faces to show us all the hard work they've been doing. Maybe just wave if you're in the steering committee, if your camera is on. I see most of you here. Excellent. So I'm just going to give you a brief update of what has been happening ever since we left the summit and what we've been doing together as United. So far, we have managed to get 130 new advocates from 11 countries, and this is all thanks to workshops that we have attended, from ICASA to the HIV adolescent workshop, and we've managed to get all this 130 new signups. Of course, the sign-up is still open, and we will post the sign-up for United on the chat. We have also managed to have 300 advocates getting their skills built. And this was through such the events against skills building workshops from ICASA, skills building workshops from, and capacity building workshops from the HIV adolescent workshops. Aside from that, we have managed to have a SADC abstract that was submitted under the gender inequality, And from this, we've also managed to have 2 youth advocates representing us at the Global Forum for Adolescents. This happened in September last year. We also have youth activists who joined us in Radio 4000 Season 2. So this is a podcast that is led by UNICEF and led by the Global Fund and the High Voice Fund, and we managed to get some of them as guests. So you will plug into that also and listen in. And also we have had consultations at the AADPD forum, and this is going to be reflected at the Global ICPD review that is coming up. So these are just some of our highlights from what we've been doing. And for that, we have some amazing pictures. I'm sure you can all see them right now on your screens of just some of the exciting activities that we've been doing. And it's a very exciting thing to conduct. And we're looking forward to this year. And with that, I will now hand over the mic to hear from the youth networks themselves, to hear what they've been doing so far. But back to you, Musonda, before that.
Thank you so much, Shanice. Well, just as our networks will be preparing to give us an update of what they've been up to, we'll to hear from everybody on this call on what they've done so far, especially those that attended the United. What activities have they done? Even if you didn't get to attend the United and if you are doing some works, it could be advocacy, please share with us what you're working on. And I'm sharing the link to the Jamboard in the chat. So you just go to that Jamboard to show you how you can go about entering the works that you're doing. So everybody's encouraged to use this Jamboard and share with us the activities they're doing. So we can start populating the Jamboard at the moment while our speakers prepare to give us an update of what they're doing in their various countries. And I would ask that Ado, prepare yourself, because after this, you'll be the first one to just give us an update of what you're doing in your country. So team, let us go to the Jamboard and just put up activities that we are working on in our various activities. So once you go to the Jamboard, you see that there are already sticky notes that have been put for us to just guide what has been done already. If you're not familiar with it, you see that on your far left, there is a table of some sort which has got something that looks like a pen, which is a pen. There's something written as an eraser. We have select, and then we have the sticky note. So once you click on that sticky note, it will bring an option for you, and then you just type. I can see people already filling it up. So let's just do that. So let's share a few things that we've done. Yeah, I can see people are trying to populate that. Let us go to the Jamboard. The link is in the chat for those that have not seen the link yet. So achievements that we can share. I can see something about stakeholder communication with UNICEF. Okay, if you're having challenges, you can still comment in the chat so that we see. Okay, do we have anyone having challenges? Because I can't see. Okay, I think we have one sticky note right there. Yeah, let's keep populating that. Tell us what you've done, your achievements. Okay, I can see a comment from Shira. Just comment on what challenge you're having. So you just click on the Jamboard. It will take you on this table that you can see on the screen there. And then you can see the part for a sticky note. Shanice, maybe just take your arrow to the sticky note for people to see where the sticky note is right there. Then it will show something like that. And then you type in, then save like that. You just click on sticky note. You're able to type your comment, and then so yeah, she's typing, and then when you save, it will show right there. Thank you. Yeah, let's just give that update of what we are doing in our countries. Achievements, you could have carried out an activity, capacity building, you could have met collaboration with some networks, you would have attended a conference, a few things that you've done here and there. We just want to understand what the different networks are doing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Alice, and thank you so much for muting your mics. So let's all make sure our mics are on mute, especially when we make any movements, you can accidentally unmute. Yeah, thank you so much. So for those that are having challenges using the Jamboard, please just text your activities that you're doing, your achievements in the chat. We'll be able to copy and paste on the Jamboard. For those that are managing, please, let's continue adding to that. And at this moment, allow me to have our colleague, the country lead, network rather, to just give us an update of what she's doing from Mosepela Youth Network Support Organization, and that is Ado. Ado, please take the floor.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. It feels so good to be back, and it feels like last year. Well, my name is Tatayawane Ado Makabanyani. I'm from a movement here in Botswana called Mosepele Youth Network. It's a movement of young people where we advocate for adolescents and young people around issues of HIV and SRHR. Madam Speaker and Sir, if you'll allow me, can I please go off the video? Is that okay? Because of my reception, this side.
Sure, please. At least
All
we've
right.
seen you place for some time.
Yes, at least. All right. Okay, thank you so much. Well, since attending the United Summit last year, I have gained, oh my God, such invaluable insights into the power of social media advocacy and generally its potential to drive meaningful change. So with this knowledge, which obviously I shared with my team when I got back here in Botswana, we then embarked on a series of impactful initiatives in our country. Just to name a few, I had the opportunity to participate as a panelist in an HIV symposium that was organized by UNFPA, UNAIDS, and UNICEF. And it was within the symposium that I was able to speak for adolescents and young people. I was able to advocate for their inclusion and meaningful participation, especially in policy making and decision making, as well also to, talk about other important issues that affect adolescents and young people in our country. Additionally, we took part in the comprehensive review of Botswana's Ministry of Education curriculum, and we ended up successfully integrating comprehensive sexuality education into the National Life Skills Framework. And other activities that we did is that we managed to take part in workshops, such as one for child rights and youth-led civil society organization on policy advocacy. This were some of the workshops that we were equipped with necessary tools to engage with the regional frameworks, such as the African Union. And also some of the activities that we did is that we were able to implement sexual reproductive health and HIV activities in schools, fostering awareness and education among students. And lastly, I will share activity that we did is that we managed to co-host a workshop, a capacity building workshop with some of the well-established organizations here in Botswana. The workshop was mainly for adolescents and young people on issues of SRH, HIV, and leadership. So this workshop, it was mainly to empower adolescents and young people to become agents of change within their communities. So all of these achievements, I must say, 100%, they were made possible by our strategic focus on social media advocacy, which was a key takeaway from the United Summit that we all attended last year. So understanding the importance of visibility and engagement on digital platforms, we leveraged social media to expand our reach, to gather support, and to raise funds. So it was through our online presence that I must say that we were able to educate young people on critical issues. We're able to strengthen relationships with stakeholders. We're able to mobilize resources for our initiatives and even expand our network. To be honest, before I went for the United Summit, our movement was still new and small. But after that, after we make use of the social media advocacy, we expanded, and a lot of people were reaching out to us to say, hey, can we support you here? We like this that you are doing. Can we be part of you? Can we be partners here? And so on. So one of our proudest achievements was that that resulted from this effort is that we had the opportunity to get some of our team members within the network to interact directly with the First Lady of Botswana at a gala dinner that was meant to celebrate her work as the UNA's champion for the empowerment and engagement of adolescent girls and young women. So, what we did was that we had brand advocates. So one of our brand advocates within the network was a 16-year-old who obviously interacted with the First Lady at the gala dinner. So with that, she was able to be selected as one of the junior school ambassador for the National Mindset Change Campaign, which it is aimed at, this is a national campaign that is currently ongoing, and it is aimed at shifting the minds of Botswana to eliminate inferiority complex, for them to embrace positivity. So in conclusion, I'll say that this milestone really underscores the transformative power of social media advocacy in driving positive change and shaping the future of our society. Yeah, so I'm really grateful to the United. I'm so happy that I went. I'm so happy that I had this opportunity, and my network is growing in ways that I could never have had imagined. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much for that comprehensive explanation.
Sure.
Okay, John, please mute your mic. Leaders, every time we make a movement, let us remember to mute our mics because you can accidentally unmute yourself. Thank you so much, Ado, for that comprehensive explanation, and you're doing amazing work. So while we are learning from Ado, we have another lady that we need to learn from of how they have transitioned, what they have done after United Movement, and that is Frida from Afrian Tanzania. Frida, please, you can take the floor.
Thank you very much. Hi guys, how are you feeling today? I hope you're as excited as I am. And I'm so glad that we have another opportunity to link together after the United Leadership Summit. And for all those who are not there, we had a blast. So let's go on directly to what did I learn, and how have I improved myself and improved the organization that I've been in, that is Afrian Tanzania, especially in the movement of improving access to sexual reproductive health and rights together with HIV among young people in my community. So just by participating in the United Leadership Summit, I was able to see, collaborate, and interact with a lot of advocates like myself, who I was able to learn from them, especially through the in-depth discussion that we have been having throughout the summit, but also through their experiences. And moving from their context to our context, it has been very helpful for us to learn. And so even while we were still part of the United Leadership Summit, I was able to communicate with my fellow young people in Tanzania to be able to, for them to be able to share their experiences, their views, their opinions, so that we can be able to incorporate them in our way forward, so that as we come back to Tanzania, we can be able to work together, leverage on our networks, leverage on our experiences and resources, so that we can be able to collaborate and do better things together. So what have we done since coming back from the United Leadership Summit? First, we were able to bring together youth-led and youth-serving organizations, especially those which are working on issues concerning sexual reproductive health, HIV, and creating a database that we will be able to track progress, because every organization has his or her own projects, has its goals, but having a singular database, it helps us to know and engage meaningfully that this organization, what is it doing, what areas is it working into, and how are we able to track the progress, so that we can be able to know which are the gaps, which are the challenges, and how are we going to move forward from the challenges. But also we were able to initiate different collectively, we were able to initiate the Happy Hour project, in which we came together as organizations that are working on issues concerning social reproductive health and HIV/AIDS. So the Happy Hour project works like this. It's a online advocacy campaign, or we can say it's an online advocacy project in which every organization is able to have an opportunity to share its experiences, to organize lessons, to organize different issues, and together every organization has an opportunity to safeguard and show what they are working in the community, and have an opportunity to make through this platform of Happy Hour. But also we were able to lobby for the increased and meaningful engagement of young people in the technical working groups, because we see that these institutions, these communities, most people are old people, you see. So we want our voices to be heard through these technical groups, because a lot of these parastatals have less amount of young people making policies, and they're making projects, and they're designing projects for us young people. So who is going to give our opinions if we're not part of those institutions? So we have been lobbying for increased number of young people in these institutions, in these communities, in these technical working groups, so that we young people can be able to say for ourselves, we can be able to act for ourselves. So increasing our participation meaningfully in the designing, planning, and implementation of different policies, different projects, is going to increase the access of young people to sexual reproductive health, but also to make sure that every young person's needs, especially in issues concerning HIV, are met. But apart from that, we've been able to initiate different discussions, especially on the local leaders, especially on areas prone to a lot of challenges such as early pregnancies, school dropouts due to forced marriages, issues concerning female genital mutilations, and so that we can be able to make holistic approaches and sustainable solutions on how we can be able to make these things work. Because there are a lot of challenges in these areas, but we as young people, everyone is trying to act on their own. So what if we put our collective actions together? What if we put our resources together? We can be able to come up with sustainable solutions that every young people is going to benefit from, and we're going to minimize and even more importantly, benefit from the solutions that we're going to make together. But apart from that, we have been able to participate in different national and regional events. For example, the Youth Day, the Women's Day, the AIDS Day, and throughout those days, we have been having access to a lot of young people who are there. So we are going to be able to use that platform to educate more and capacitate and strengthening issues concerning sexual reproductive health and HIV/AIDS. So look, Mo just told me that time is it's not promising, but yes, so I'm so happy to have an opportunity to have learned through the United Leadership Summit, and through that I've been able to be a good ambassador to my country people and telling them what we have learned, but more importantly, share to them on what we can be able to do together, so that we can move forward to push our agenda as young people, because there's nothing for youth without youth ourselves. So thank you very much for initiating these discussions, and we're very, very happy to be here as Afri and Tanzania. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Freda, for such an awesome explanation of what you have done after the United Summit. We can actually see that you have gained a lot, not just you, but other young people who might not have the opportunity to share. But we have been given the link to the Jamboard. Make sure you share your achievements or what you have done throughout the year. So we want to move on to our next speaker, but I just want to remind all our speakers to speak slowly, because remember, we have interpretation which is going on. So for the benefit of others who want to hear the translation, let's speak slowly. So I'll hand over to our next speaker, who is Ravel. Ravel is from Burundi. So Ravel, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you hear me very well. Yeah, all right. My name is Ravel Gantoto, and I am from Burundi.
and I am an HIV advocate, and I represent the national network of young people living with HIV in Burundi. And I am so happy to be here today to share the work we have been doing since the United Movement Summit last year, and also at since ICASA. And I would like first to focus on capacity building workshops we have organized through our network of young people living with HIV. And these workshops were designed with the aims of empowering societies to support and accompany youth for sexual and reproductive health services. We have providing these communities for young people and young key population, the leadership potentials, organizational management, advocacy skills, and mentoring skills. And another key point is collaboration. Since the United Movement Summit, we have highlighted the importance of collaboration, not only for young people living with the HIV like our organization, but also for other young local organizations for young people, especially young key population like sex workers, LGBTQI+, and also people who use drugs. And by pulling together our resources, knowledge, and experiences, we have formed an incredible alliance that amplifies our collective voices and enhances the impact of our advocacy work. Together, we are building a network that support that extends beyond our individual organization. It's not only focused on our organization, young people living with HIV, but also from other organizations for key population. And also, our journey is far from over. We remain committed to confronting the challenges that still persist and build a future where every young people living with HIV, every key population can access the sexual and reproductive health services they need and free from stigma and discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ravel. That was very inspirational and good to hear what you've done after the summit. We can also utilize the chat box if we have any comments that we want to share. So let's make sure that we get engaged. So I want to move on to our next speaker. So our next speaker is Charles Chunguo, who is a member of the United Movement through National Association for Young People with HIV. Over to you, Charles.
All right, thank you so much. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Charles. You can go ahead.
All right. Yep, thank you. My name is Charles Innocent Chunguo from Malawi, and I belong to the network of young people with HIV, Y+. Since I'm also a member of the movement, so following my attendance at the United Summit and the CASA, where the focus was more HIV and the SRH response, I managed to form the United Movement in Malawi. I also managed to form to brief and collaborate with different stakeholders both at district level and also at the national level. Without forgetting the government and private sectors, and also reach out to the UN offices in our country now. Also, I've been actively engaged in several initiatives aimed at advancing collaboration, also awareness on ICASA, and source funding for engaging in domestic finance, community engagement, youth networks in the district and also at the national level.
Nani Linet ameletwa na Kelvis.
Hello. Yep. Comprehensive health approach, and also soon after the event, I also diverted into conducting workshops and training sessions within local communities to raise awareness about HIV prevention, treatment, and support services available. So additionally, I also have collaborated with local healthcare providers to improve access to SRHR services, including promoting safe sex practices providing contraceptives, and addressing reproductive health concerns. Furthermore, I've been also involved in developing education materials with the support of the YPlus, the host organization, and also the movement, United Movement, in developing materials and resources to disseminate vital information on HIV and SRH topics to a wider audience. This includes creating informative pamphlets, organizing seminars, and using social media platforms to reach individuals who may not have easy access to traditional health care. Moreover, I've been actively participating in advocacy efforts to promote comprehensive sexual education in schools and communities. As we are all aware, in schools we have some kind of policies which hinder some adolescents and young people to access SRH services. Also to other communities which are parents, they like a barrier to block young people from accessing SRH services with negative mindsets towards young people who are accessing these services like contraceptives. As well as also I had a chance to push for policies that support HIV prevention and treatment programs by engaging with policy makers, community leaders, and the key stakeholders. I aim to influence positive changes that will enhance the overall of HIV and SRH response in Malawi. So in my conclusion, my post regards to the United Summit activities in Malawi have been centered more on increasing awareness, providing support, and advocating for improved HIV and SRH services, which we are still on the journey for this. Also, through these endeavors, I hope to contribute to their ongoing efforts to combat HIV and enhance sexual and reproductive health rights in my country. As also to make sure that each policy are being revised in towards the SRH and the HIV services, and make sure that every young person, even adolescents, are accessing good health services and the better one, and also should be also affordable everywhere they are, whether it's a rural or an urban area, wherever we can make them. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Charles, for sharing those updates. Indeed, young people are impressive if you give them an opportunity to express themselves. So we want to move on to our last speaker for this regional update session, who is Lupa. So Lupa is the member of a network of young people living with HIV again. So Lupa, over to you.
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Can I confirm that if I am audible? Okay, thank you very much. It has been almost a year since I attended the United Leadership Summit in South Africa, from which I can sincerely say that yeah, it really shaped my advocacy journey. As after that meeting, I was not the same in this advocacy field compared before that meeting. And from United Leadership Summit in South Africa, I came with some key. I took away some key themes such as collaboration and leveling advocacy. From which, when I went back home in Tanzania, I, as a member of NYP Plus, we recognize the importance of joining forces with a like-minded organization on a sector of HIV and SRH, such as There for Progress, and also we had some of the key stakeholders which play important role to moving forward the intervention in regards to SRH and HIV, such as the Ministry of Health, JPIGO, as well as PEPFAR. So, in terms of collaboration, together with this organization, stakeholders, we're able to create some of the dialogues and some of the higher learning institution meetings, capacity building meetings in our higher learning institution, whereby we are able to capacitate the leaders of student government unions from various universities in Tanzania, from which we included like 5 major universities and some smaller colleges, almost 6, from which we capacitate them with the knowledge and the correct information on regards to sexual reproductive health and HIV. And from which we did that after we saw a huge gap, especially in a higher learning institution, whereby still students did not know what is the correct information on regard to sexual reproductive health and HIV. So we believe that through training their leaders from these universities and education institutions, we believe that through them, they can help to share and convey the knowledge on regard on sexual reproductive health and HIV. And also, as myself, I am an abstract writer. I believe in writing abstract as I use it as a tool whereby I can identify some gaps on regard to sexual reproductive health and how we can tackle it on. From which I remember one of my abstract was selected for abstract representation in HIV in adolescent workshop in Zambia. From which this abstract which I wrote, it shed a light on that us as the regional countries, we share some common challenges and experience when we come across on sexual reproductive health and HIV. And also we can frame out specific solution which can act, which they can help us to tackle on the challenges of HIV and sexual reproductive as together. Also, through my abstract writing, we highlighted some of the hurdles which are sexual reproductive health and HIV, sexual reproductive health and HIV faces. Especially, I can say that the hurdles, I can say like opposition forces, which they face, from which we analyze that some opposition, such as from religious perspectives, also from the culture and norms, from which we came to know that this opposition lead to the low uptake of sexual reproductive health and HIV packages. And so we came to frame out on the ways on how we can neutralize these forces so that it can be easily to uptake these packages, or especially on sexual reproductive health and HIV. And through that, we are able to do some open dialogues with some of the religious leaders, especially those who are more minded, so that through them they can help to neutralize other opposition, or to neutralize other religious leaders, to see that there is importance of sexual reproductive health and HIV packages. And also, I can say that after the meeting, United Leadership meeting in South Africa, I can say I said that I was able to level up my advocacy skills, whereby I was now able to know which platform I can use to reach out my messages. Okay, so from which I've been using Twitter, also TikTok, whereby I've been using it as a platform to convey my message in regard to sexual reproductive health and HIV. So I urge everyone to sign up for United Movement for the benefit of the young people on tackling sexual reproductive health and HIV. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Luca, for that update. I can see the leaders are speaking to social media usage, the advocacy, the training, so many things that they have learned from United Movement. And right about now, you know, as United, we appreciate feedback from everyone else, and normally all are planning around involving the young people that we are working with. So there was a survey that was shared before today's meeting, or rather the kickoff for United Movement, to our different youth-led networks, and we had feedback on what they are looking for, the capacity training that they want, what they're focusing on. So allow me to bring in Shanice now to just give us an update of what the survey is showing, what were the needs, what are the young people talking about. So Shanice, please come through to just share with us what the findings from the survey are. And while we're waiting for Shanice to join us, please let's know if people are still feeling okay in the chat. You can just share how you're feeling with an emoji, how happy you are. Just click an emoji to see if you're still energized, if you're still with us. So just keep that rolling while we see the survey here. Thank you so much. Shanice, over to you.
Thank you, Musonda, for that. I hope I'm audible enough. Thank you for all who's participated in the survey. It's still open because this is just analysis from the responses that we've gotten so far. So we'll still keep it open, and I will quickly go through some of the analysis of what we had asked previous on the survey. So the first area was, the first question was focusing on what area of work your network is focusing on. And from these results, we saw that majority of networks are focusing on AGYWs, that's the adolescent girls and young women. So that's a key area of work. It was closely followed by adolescents and young people living with HIV. And then we went to young people just generally as a focus. And of course, a key population was the LGBTQI and other key populations. So that was good, seeing that that is the area of work that the movement would like to focus on. The second was really looking at the capacity needs. Remember that we had some capacity needs at the United Summit, and we just wanted to see whether this was still the needs that you wanted to focus on. And also let's see how we can rank them, because we really would like to see how it support you more. So as you can see, in order of most urgent or most needed priority for advocacy capacity needs, going down to the, I won't say it's not urgent or prioritized, but it's the least prioritized. So the first was understanding emerging issues like climate and mental health and their links to SRHR, which is great because we would like to dive more into other fields of advocacy. Secondly was influencing policy change and also evidence-informed advocacy strategies and messages. The next one was looking at personal skills. Remember, this is all from the United Summit. We just wanted you to rank so we can see how we can do with this information. The first was leadership skills, a lot of needs there. And then there was also negotiation and influencing skills. And then mental health, again, coming up as a big thing for advocates. Moving on to network building skills, a lot of networks were requesting proposal development, just assistance in that, sustainability, looking at transitioning of and growing your networks. And it's great that we've had the previous networks talk about how they've expanded their networks since the movement started. So that's an excellent request. And then there's also governance structures and social accountability coming in at third. So we also asked about additional areas of advocacy that we didn't list and that you think are very pertinent and important. From the results that are shown, New areas of advocacy that we observed was the HIV vaccine advocacy, improving knowledge and database on HIV, so more technical work on that. There's also decent work in economic growth, youth jobs, employment assistance. So that's something new. An area to access to see is an access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene and food security. Perhaps you can link that with SRHR and HIV advocacy. And something else was peace, justice, and strong institutions, which is an interesting advocacy area. Perhaps we can link it also with gender-based violence and also HIV and SRH. So the other networks, there were other suggestions that came from the survey, like family planning, sexual education for adolescents, digital literacy, and menstrual hygiene, which we all felt were listed above, but are narrowed down to specific topics, which we will still consider as we respond back to the survey shared. We also requested for you to rank issues from most urgent issues, and laws, policies, and implementation took the lead in this one. Looking at meaningful youth voice and youth leadership. So as you know, the movement is all about youth leadership. It's youth-led, and we are going to encourage more about this. Then there's also the access to quality services. So as you remember, the crisis that we initially had and what has made us form this movement is access to quality services in SRHR and HIV for young people. Lastly, there was content areas. This was some of the content areas that were listed in the summit, and we just wanted to see whether how you'd rank them as networks. And the first was our ART coverage, adherence, quality of life. So this goes well with HIV medical drug advocacy. Then there's mental health again, and adolescent pregnancy coming in. You can see there's GBV and access to justice, contraception, menstrual health, and safe abortion as also listed. And these are all SRH elements that we are looking forward to discuss more on how we can move our movement forward. So I'll hand it back to you, Musonda and Lackmore, to take over.
All right, thank you very much, Shanice, for the survey update. Just like what you have heard, colleagues, the survey is still open, so you can have time to check and also input some of your ideas. So we want to move on with our program, but before I call upon our next speaker, who is Brian, I'll open the floor if we have any comments, any questions, any additions to everything that we have been hearing from the beginning. But our main focus for this section is we want to hear what's next for 2024. You know, it's as we come towards the end of this meeting, it's important that we shift focus towards coming next for the United Movement in 2024 and beyond. So if you have anything that would want to speak in regards to what's next for 2024, this is the opportunity that we are giving you. So to do so, you can use the chat box, or maybe raise your hand, unmute, and share your hopes for the year 2024. This is the opportunity, colleagues. My colleague Musonda will be checking the chat box. If you post, she will tell us what you have posted and what are you hoping for in 2024.
So you're allowed to raise your hand if you would like to speak, or if you would like to use the chat box. I can't see any hands yet. This is for everyone that has been with us from the beginning, from what you've heard, what you hope to see. Just tell us on what you envision. How can we work together? Just tell us what you'd like us to work on for 2024, what you're focusing on that we can learn from you. So anybody that is ready to go is welcome. I'm checking if you have any hands. So remember, this is something that is just among us, the young people. Everyone that is here is working with a young person, and this is also an opportunity to network. So let's have this time to just interact. Anyone would like to go through? I know we have Uganda in the house, we have got Zimbabwe, we've got South Africa, we've got Zambia, Malawi. Would like to hear from you.
Yes, definitely.
Anyone?
So I have sent a message in the chat box from Banji Kasonde, who is saying we need more trainings, opportunities, as well as more networking meetings. And there is someone with a hand up. Naishoki, you can unmute and tell us your hopes for 2024.
Good afternoon. My name is Naishok. So I've been following up the discussion since we have started. What I can say is that in the concept of young people and how we have been doing this advocacy works in our country, I think we need to invest in a lot of researchers, because when we need to convince these parliamentary people, whenever it comes to the policies that are going to be good for young people, especially when we are talking about sexual reproductive health, we do not have many research, or we do not have many tangible statistics that can be able to support young people, especially in my country, in Tanzania. So I think in 2024, we should invest much in doing a lot of research that are concerning to young people and how they can be able to access the comprehensive sexuality education related to all youth-friendly services in the context. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. We really need researchers so that they can inform our programming, evidence-based programming. Thank you very much, Naishoki, for that insightful contribution. Munira?
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, and thank you for convening another United Summit meeting. I just wanted to reflect on one of the priorities we identified in the United Summit, which was capacity building over time and working in the SRH space and working for the rights of African girls and adolescents. I've consistently seen that we're quite an under-researched community. Like, sometimes I think that the economic models that exist, like when we look at GDP, for example, when we look at GDP or the economic resources that are available to young women, we sometimes don't recognize the intersection of violence, the intersection of like oppression that they experience, and just like the cultural violence that exists, particularly amongst African adolescent girls and young women. So something I've consistently like been interested in and I'm looking to invest in is like research. So I'm really excited to say that like there's been a funding proposal that just went through with the University of Oxford, and it is going to be a research on cross-national education with a focus on adolescent girls and young women's issues, including SRH and HIV. So we're really looking at like the very niche economic experiences that young people have and what maybe derails their participation in like the larger economic structure. So I'm really excited about how that research can really like amplify our capacity and also amplify like the knowledge we have available when advocating for adolescent girls and young women's issues. So that's really something that's exciting and that I'm really looking forward to engaging on a wide scale, including in, you know, this United Movement Network.
Thank you very much for that contribution. Musonda, if you can go through some of the comments in the chat box.
Okay, thank you. So the first one is saying, which is from Kunda Kwashe, saying, I'm looking forward to engaging with the United Movement, both in Zimbabwean context and beyond. We also look forward to learn more from the movement through capacitation of chapters within countries and beyond Africa. We have another comment from John, which is saying young LGBTQI+ should be prioritized and given the opportunity to make decisions also. And then Belize has a comment to say for the year 2024. I hope as United Movement, we can have a space for young people to collaborate on issues that cutting across our different contexts. The issues of policy and laws, mental health, and climate change have been mentioned by different speakers. And for the sake of uniformity, I believe there should be programming around that area. Thank you so much. We also have another comment from Winston, which is saying a lot of sensitization needs to be done and reaching out to our parliamentarians on working on policies that will help achieve our focus in supporting the young ages. Okay, we have another comment from Devin, hope I pronounced that correct, saying, hello, I'm Dismiri from Zimbabwe. I think in order to have an impact on concerns regarding young people, we should be able to provide evidence-based research and reports so that we are accountable for our operations. Perfect. We have another one, Debran, which is saying we also need to prioritize the aspect of human rights, that is lobby for government or member states to uphold human rights. This comes after many African countries instituting bills and laws that criminalize the LGBTQI+ community. So yeah, the aspect of building strong institutions for justice and upholding human rights goes a long way in realizing good health and the outcomes and universal access by all young people in their intersecting diversity. These are brilliant comments, Tim. Keep on bringing them on. I don't know if you have any hand that we can take while we're still just on comments. Do you have anybody that would like to speak? Do we have any hand up before I proceed with the comments?
We don't have any hands yet.
Okay, so the other few comments left, the other one is from Evelyn. It's saying United Movement should consider other factors affecting young people living positively, e.g. diabetes, cancer, and fetulous TB. And then we also have George who's saying we need more training and involvement in issues concerning young people. This is George PM from NYP Plus, Tanzania. Tony says, great engagement. Tony from Kenya, gender and sexual reproductive health and rights advocate. Okay, and then we have Winston, who says, from the survey feedback, I have seen that LGBTQ is a key area of attention, especially in countries where it has been criminalized. Thus, propose support from United Movement to support LGBTQ advocacy. Okay, I think that is all that we have for now. Thank you so much. Over to you, Lakmo.
Thank you very much, Musonda, and thank you everyone for participating. I love the energy that we have. It really shows that we have been engaged throughout this meeting. So I saw a hand earlier on from Evelyn, but I'm no longer seeing the hand. Evelyn, is your contribution addressed in the chat box, or we can move on?
No, I'm here. I don't know if I'm audible.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to reconvene and just to hear your amazing views on the work that has been done over the last year of the United Movement. Good job to everybody. I'm so proud of all the countries and all the progress that we've made. I think it's very inspiring to see the work that we're doing as young leaders in our respective countries. So I just wanted to reiterate the point of research in evidence-based advocacy to ensure that even as we are meeting with our stakeholders to present our cases, we are presenting facts and not just opinions or experiences. There's been an issue that we've noted that there's a gap in terms of information that is readily available that we can use to present as advocacy when we're meeting our key stakeholders. So I think we need to try, what I would like to see this year from the United Movement is focus on research and what we can do with the findings that we have, what we can do, after we gather that information, then what we can use that information to then speak to our key stakeholders, to our parliamentarians, to
UN agencies to lobby for funding so that we can address some of the concerns. Some of the issues that I've noted is sometimes as young activists and advocates, we don't really have the facts, and we speak from, you know, our personal opinions or biases and experiences, but sometimes it's important to make sure that we know what is on the ground and make sure that it's a universal experience, so that even when we are presenting it, it's factual information to relevant stakeholders who can help us bridge the gaps to some of the issues that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evelyn. I heard someone saying if you are presenting what you are presenting without data or facts, you are just expressing your feelings. So thank you very much for emphasizing on that point. So thank you, everyone. The chat box is still open. You can put your contributions there, but because of time, we need to move on to our next session on the program, where I'm going to invite Brian Mafuso to give us an update from the steering committee. Brian, over to you.
Thank you, Lakmo, and good day to everyone. In the interest of time, I won't take much of your time, but I just wanted to give a rundown on some of the things that we have been planning, coming from the background of the survey that we actually held. And I know that a lot of people are talking about influencing policy and change. And, you know, as a steering committee, one of the things that we've been working on to ensure that youth priorities are mainstreamed within, you know, decision-making from country to regional level. And as part of that, those activities, we've been working on mapping of events and opportunities, and also analyzing some of the commitments that have been made by countries, you know, in regards to sexual reproductive health, HIV and AIDS, because like what was mentioned before, that if we have this information, we can see those entry points. And the main objective really is to ensure that as united leaders, you know, you are really mainstreamed within this decision making at the onset, from the formulation, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation process, from country level to regional level. And on the capacity strengthening, another pillar that we had also put according to the needs that were there, we had also we are also planning to do like a capacity assessment of country level youth-led organizations. And I know that a lot of you are doing so much great work, but also there would be need also to see some of the areas that we can also support in as a united movement, and how we can, you know, provide those technical skills that are required. And based on this, we would actually make a roadmap of youth organizations and, you know, their capacity needs. And one of the few activities that we had also slotted for, like, which was being talked about earlier in the meeting about the need for capacities, was also an online course on, you know, sexual reproductive health issues, HIV and AIDS, and, you know, key issues of policies, and how we can, you know, help each other to strengthen that, you know, side of things, of us knowing those things. And another part also would be looking at the resources, how we can also have joint resource mobilization for sub-granting to youth-led networks. As you know that, you know, after COVID, a lot of resources have shrinked, and, you know, that has been one of the key issues that youth networks have been talking about. So we want to see how we can also, you know, jointly do that and create synergies around sharing those resources. And I can move on to, when I'm, allow me to move on to the linking and sharing side of things. So basically also one of the things that we had talked about here in terms of the linking and sharing, we talked about, you know, formulation of knowledge material, how we can, you know, get some knowledge material from, you know, from research and also from the technical side to support what you are doing at the country level, and to support the work that you are doing, and how we can guide you also on a technical level. But also in terms of linking, we are also talking about how we can also activate social media engagement to expand, the audiences and ensure that youth networks are linking with each other in regards to issues, are discussing, those discussions that are going on online can be created. And I think last but not least, on coordination and collaboration is another thematic area. What we've been planning on is really how we can also, again, build synergies to work together. And I think today's event is also a testament of how we also, put it at the highest priority to, coordinate and collaborate. We have made sure that that we are going to be having, some meetings, regular meetings of the United Movement, just to see how we are doing at a country level, just to see what you are doing with your youth network. So, we can expect some of these meetings. We'll see that the timeline, it can be after a quarter, it can be even after like 4 or 5 months. But we really do want to have this within regular meetings. So we're going to be doing them within the next coming months again to see and understanding how we can support and how we can connect each other as youth networks in terms of what we are working in. And the last point that is really important also in terms of coordination, collaboration at a country level, we've also been trying to explore how we can also link UN offices and country offices that are also working with us with United leaders, and to see how we can collaborate and create that partnership and coordinate one voice as a united movement. So basically, this are some of the things that we've been planning on as a steering committee. Thank you so much. Over to you, Lakmo.
Thank you very much, Brian, for that update. And over to you, Msonda.
Okay, right about now, we just want to see a video clip of what United has prepared for us. Let's just get hyped a bit because we've been discussing the whole time. Let's see what this hype video has for us.
Yo, what's going down, good people? We have 80 young people from 14 regions of Eastern Southern Africa who are all busy doing advocacy, who are all part of HIV and SRHR movement.
Making a movement to raise our voices on issues concerning sexual and reproductive health and rights, but also HIV/AIDS.
A time to reflect, a time to collaborate, and a time to plan.
It is very important to collaborate instead of working in silence.
The United Leadership Summit to me means an opportunity to create a strong networking base with other fellow African young leaders from other countries to come up with advocacy strategies to overcome societal ills affecting the youth.
And I just feel, you know what, together we can. It is united.
Right, thank you so much, Shanice, for that video. So what you're seeing now is basically the links to our social media platform. That is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which is also known as X. And then in the chat, I'm about to paste the link to the United Movement membership form where you get to join us. So I'm pasting that in the chat. You just click on it and be free to fill that particular document, because the idea is after all this, we've kicked off and we want everybody to be part of United, regardless of your country, so long as you're part of this particular movement, you are welcome. So that link has been shared to you in the chat box. If you can't manage to fill it now, let's just copy it and save it elsewhere. We'll make sure we'll enter that later if you can't do that now. So thank you so much. Allow me to bring in Lakmo, my other colleague on the moderation side, to just give us the closing remarks. However, before you do that, can I request that everybody unmute the videos and do the United before we close? Can I see everybody turn on the video and just do this so to get a picture? Yeah, I'm demonstrating. So everybody just turn on your video. You make this because this says United. That is our symbol. If you can see, I can't see Evelyn, Brian, everybody just stand on and do the United so we can take a picture from there before we get our closing remarks, because this only happens now once. Okay, somebody there to take a screenshot of us with our United symbol. Who's going to notify me? Shanice, are you able to take a picture of the United? Somebody take a screenshot of us doing that. Anybody
can
to take that
sharing?
United?
I'll also take from this end.
Thank you
Okay,
very much,
everybody. Ravel, Tony, Keith, I can see your hand there. Okay, this looks beautiful. Are we ready? When I say 1, 2, 3, we say United. 1, 2, 3.
United.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Lakimo. Over to you. I hope we've taken that picture.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Musonda, and thank you, everyone. But before I get into our closing remarks, allow me at this juncture to invite you again to another exciting segment. Remember, our voices as young people matters because we really know what works for us and what's best for us. So tomorrow, there is a focus group discussion, which we are invited by hearing aids, which will be focusing more on HIV prevention. So we are all invited to join in this discussion where we would be asked to share our thoughts, our ideas, as well as solutions that could make a real difference when it comes to HIV prevention. So it's tomorrow, 12 o'clock Eastern and Eastern Africa time, or 11 o'clock if you are in Central Africa. So there is a Zoom link that will be shared in the chat. And if you also go on our socials for United Movement, you are also going to see the link that you are going to use tomorrow. But at this juncture, ladies, gentlemen, and others, allow me to thank you for attending the United Movement kickoff meeting today. On behalf of the steering committee and on behalf of my co-chair, Sonda, I would like to appreciate your time and your interest in advocating for the rights and well-being of young people in areas of sexual reproductive health in HIV. And we also want to appreciate the support that you have received from UNICEF, UNAIDS, as well as UNFPA. We know that our translation, we got support from UNAIDS. Thank you very much, and keep on supporting initiatives for the United Movement. And this is just the beginning, and we know that there is much work to be done in 2024. So let's get engaged, let's communicate. If you have any activities that are taking place, make sure you update Shanice so that we can also share on our socials. So we need those stakeholders to support our efforts. And if you need to join the movement as well, you are free. If you are not part of the movement already, join the movement. You want to ensure that young people's voices are heard, and we all have access to information and resources we need to live healthy and fulfilling lives. We look forward to working with each and every one of you as we move forward with our mission as the movement. And thank you again for your support and commitment to making a difference in the lives of young people. Amandla, Awetu. Thank you very much from me and the steering committee. Thank you for joining. Let's show some emojis if we were happy to be here.
So we will
And let's
receive feedback.
also-
I've seen a comment to say, are we going to receive feedback? Yes, so long as you've registered on the membership, we'll surely get to you. We just have to compile all that and then we'll be getting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye,
So,
everybody.
bye, everyone.